I spent 2 months in Nairobi, Kenya, and here are the differences between Nairobi and Accra. This is not to say one place is better than the other. This is just to share some of the differences that I observed. To begin, I would say Nairobi is a lot more affordable than Accra. And personally, I think this is in most ways, from food, transportation, accommodation. I think it's a lot more affordable. And I do think you get more value. For example, if you were to get an Airbnb in a nice area, you might be paying up to $128 a night, maybe 150, depending on the season. Whereas like in Nairobi, it was the low season, but you could get a very nice place for half that amount. So $45 a night, and it was a very nice location, a very nice place. You had electricity, water, all of the necessities, and it was half the price. In terms of food, they have a lot of supermarkets, like grocery stores everywhere, and they have a wide variety of foods. Nairobi is a city where there are a lot of tourists, so they have a lot of international foods, groceries, things like that, and you can get them very easily at a good price. Whereas like in Accra, I find that it's a bit more difficult to get those foods. You can find them, but they're going to be a lot more expensive, and it's not as convenient to get. That's another thing. Nairobi is so convenient. They have malls everywhere. There are malls within walking distance of each other. They're everywhere. You can walk to a mall very easily. Whereas Accra, we have like mini shops everywhere, but we don't necessarily have a mall everywhere. If you need to get a specific item, you have to travel for it. Whereas in Nairobi, you can get things, it's a lot more convenient, in my opinion. Another thing is Nairobi is so green. There are trees everywhere. Literally everywhere there are trees. And apparently the amount of trees have decreased over the years. So I saw that there was a lot. Speaking to local people, they've cut down a lot of trees, so it was greener before. Whereas I find that in Accra, it's quite dry. There's not a lot of trees. At one point, I think there were, but they've been cut down a lot for things like real estate and commercial purposes. It's not as green, so it's also very hot. That's another thing too. Nairobi is cold. I was there in April, May, and June, and it was really cold. Like April and May, I was so cold. I did not bring the proper attire, and I was cold. Whereas in Accra, it's so hot. I get heat rashes all the time. Sure, because there's not as much trees, it's part of the reason why it is so hot. But Nairobi is a lot more cool. There's a lot more trees, and it's very green, very, very green. Another thing is, I feel a lot safer in Accra versus Nairobi. And I think it's for different reasons. First of all, I'm Ghanaian. Although my tree is not that great, I can understand. So I'm not caught in a situation where I have absolutely no idea what people are saying, unless they're speaking another local language. But if they're speaking Tree, I can understand what they're saying. Whereas in Kenya, I don't understand any Swahili at all. So sometimes just being in spaces where people are talking to you, you have no clue what they're saying. I had some weird encounters, but thankfully nothing too scary, but just not knowing what people are saying. The other thing too is like I learned about some of the history about some of the conflicts that exist there. I didn't know about that before I went. In terms of petty crime, so having your phone stolen, that could happen here too, but everyone would tell me, be careful of your phone over there, because it happens so frequently and they're so fast. Even things like walking in the CBD, which I did rarely though, but I had to go there a couple of times. I was so paranoid because it's so crowded and busy. Whereas in Accra, I think I'm a lot more laid back. Safety is important, of course, but I just feel a lot safer here. But those are just a quick overview. I definitely feel like people should visit Kenya. I had an amazing time there, and I'll definitely be back. I was able to make so many good connections, make some friends, and enjoy the city.